So next we will see the problems based on the periodicity of the discrete signal. Okay, already we have seen one or two problem, then now we will continue with that. Okay, next question, find the period of the discrete signal. That signal x of n is equal to 1 plus e power j 4 pi n divided by 7 minus e power j 2 pi n divided by 5. Okay, so this signal consists of some constant along with the exponential signal. Okay, again the constant will not affect your time period because constant is not having any time index. Okay, anyway it will not affect your time period, but it will only affect the amplitude of the signal. That means you are like just adding the DC component to the signal. Okay, see, if you assume that these are all like AC component, okay, because it is varying with the time index, then we can assume that this is like a DC component. That means it is not varying with the time, it is always constant from minus infinity to plus infinity. So it may affect the amplitude, but this constant will not affect the time period of the your rest of the signal. So without worrying about that constant, okay, you can calculate the period of the rest of the signal. Okay, then again you can calculate the combined period finally. Okay, again before that we will calculate the period separately. Okay, this is the discrete signal. Again we will calculate the period separately. What is omega 1? Omega 1 is equal to 4 pi by 7. Omega 2 is equal to 2 pi by 5. Okay, again what is the general procedure to calculate the period? That is n divided by k is equal to 2 divided by 2 pi divided by omega. Okay, this is the general common formula for to calculate the period of the discrete signal. That too we are calculating the period for the first signal, so we will put n1 and then omega 1. Okay, now from this if you substitute the value n1, again we do not know what is k. Okay, then 2 pi by what is omega 1? Omega 1 is 4 pi by 7 by 7, that 7 I can take up, okay, into multiplied with a k, multiplied with this k. Pi cancel, so I am getting 7 by 2 into k. So now n1 is equal to 7 by 2 k. So what value of minimum integer will make n1 as integer? Okay, what value of minimum integer will make n1 as integer? Okay, once if you substitute k is equal to 2, then your n1 will be 7. That 7 is called the period of the first signal. Okay, so even if you put k is equal to 4, then also you will get integer. That means you will get n1 is equal to 14. So that means what? The period of the first signal could be 7 or 14 or 21. But out of this, which one is the fundamental period? Only 7 is the fundamental period. So we have to take 7 only. So you see, for example, if the signal is period of 7, then it should be definitely period of 14, 21 like that, the multiple of 7. So, but out of that, which one is fundamental? Only 7 is fundamental. That means what I am telling, if the signal is getting repeated with the 7 samples, definitely it will get repeated with 14 samples and 21 samples and 28 samples and so on. So, but out of that, which one is the smallest one? 7. So, 7 is the period of the first signal. Okay, then what about the second signal? Second signal 2 pi by 5. Okay, now for second signal n2 divided by k, which is equal to 2 pi by omega 2. Okay, now n2 is equal to 2 pi by what is omega 2? Omega 2 is 2 pi by 5 into k. Okay, simply directly we are getting as 5 because once if you substitute k is equal to 1, you are getting 5. So n2 is 5. Okay, now finally we got both n1 and n2. N1 is equal to 7 and n2 is equal to 5. Now again individually we have calculated the period. Then what is the overall period? Before calculating the overall period, we have to verify that whether the signal is periodic signal or not. For that, what we will do, we will find the ratios of the period. Okay, the ratios of the period n1 divided by n2 is 7 by 5. Is it a rational number or not? Yes sir, anybody? Is it a rational number or irrational? n1 by n2
Rational, sir.
rational. Okay, so it is rational because you can write like this 1 point, okay, 4. Okay, so that's why this is rational. Okay, so n1 by n2 is rational number. Once if it is rational, again there is definitely the period, definitely the signal is periodic, then you take the LCM, that is n naught is equal to LCM of 7 comma 5. Okay, what is the LCM of 7 comma 5? That is 35. Okay, so the 35 is the time period of the signal, or otherwise you can operate with omega also. From omega itself you can find out. Okay, you can operate with omega also, because already you know this signal is periodic. If it is periodic, you can operate with omega itself. Okay, omega naught is equal to HCF of omega 1 comma omega 2, that is HCF of 4 pi by 7 comma 2 pi by 5. Okay, HCF, if you take HCF in the numerator, that is 2 pi. Okay, what is the HCF in the denominator? That is 1. Again, we making any mistake? Sorry, for denominator we have to take LCM. Okay, numerator only HCF, denominator we have to take LCM, that is 75. Okay, then what about n naught? N naught is equal to simply 2 pi by omega naught, so 35 is the answer. Okay, n naught is equal to 35. Okay, next question. X of n is equal to 2 cos pi by 4 n sin pi by 8 n minus 2 cos pi by 2 n. Okay, what is the solution? What is the period of this signal? Okay, first we'll calculate the individual period. Okay, now individual frequencies, omega 1 is equal to pi by 4, omega 2 is equal to pi by 8, then omega 3 is equal to pi by 2. Again, definitely these ratios will be like a rational number. Okay, ratios will be like rational number. Then n1 by k is equal to 2 pi by omega 1, which is 2 pi by pi into 4. Okay, so again 8 is the answer. Okay, so n1 is equal to 8 in this case simply. What about n2 by k? 2 pi by omega 2, 2 pi by 8, pi goes here, 8 goes here, again 16 is the period of this signal. What about the third one? n3 by k, 2 pi by omega 3. Okay, 2 pi by, what is omega 3? That is pi by 2, pi into 2, and again 4, n3 is equal to 4. Okay, now 8, 16 and 4, what is the LCM? n naught is equal to LCM of 8, 16 and 4. What is the time period of this signal? What is the LCM of this 8, 16 and 4? What is the answer? LCM is 16. Okay, now n naught is equal to 16. Okay, you also try with the other method, HCF method. Okay, again the answer will be same. Next question. X of n is equal to cos pi by 2 n and then cos pi by 4 n. Okay, now the two signals are in the multiplication domain. Okay, we know to calculate the period whenever the signals are in additional format. Okay, but here it is in a multiplication format, so we have to represent in terms of the additional format. It is like cos A cos B. So once if cos A cos B format is there, you can represent in terms of cos A plus B plus cos A minus B format. So the solution here, x of n can be represented as 1 by 2 cos of A plus B. Okay, pi by 2 plus pi by 4 is 3 pi by 2. Okay, 3 pi by 2 n, and then pi by 2 minus pi by 4 is cos pi by 4 n. Okay, now again we can calculate the individual period. Omega 1 is equal to 3 pi by 2, omega 2 is equal to pi by 4. Okay, n1 is equal to 2 pi by omega 3 pi by 2, again multiplied with k, so 4 by 3 again. So what will be the answer? Finally n1 is equal to 4. Okay, similarly for case 2, n2 is equal to 2 pi by omega 2 multiplied with k, 2 pi by omega 2 value is pi by 4, again multiplied with k, pi cancel 8. Okay, so here n2 will be 8. Okay, now what is the common period? That is LCM of n1 comma n2. Okay, LCM of 4 comma 8. So again the period of the signal is 8. Okay, and next question, x of n is equal to cos square 2n minus pi by 3. Okay, now the signal is given in cos square. Okay, whenever you square the signal, what will happen? Okay, either the frequency will increase or the time will increase. Okay, say for example, again before discussing this, I am giving some idea. Okay, so for example, if you are having some sine signal, okay, this is the sine signal. Okay, again once if you square the signal, how the signal will look like? It will look like this. Okay, in this process, what is happening to the time period? What is happening to the frequency? Okay, say for example, this is the time period of the original signal. Okay, now what happened to the time period of the new signal? Okay, the square signal. Say this is x of t. For x of t, t is the time period. Now what is the time period of x square of t? Anybody? Yes sir, what is happening to time period?
It is reduced to r square.
Okay, so it is t by 2. So now once if it is t by 2, what will happen to frequency? It will be multiplied by 2. Okay, so now originally for the signal with the time period t, f is the frequency. If you square the signal, time period will get reduced, frequency will increase. So that idea you should have in your mind. Whenever you are squaring the signal, you are trying to increase the frequency by the factor of 2. Whenever you make the cube of the signal, whenever you calculate the cube of the signal, you are trying to increase the signal by the factor of 3 times of the original frequency. So again we already were having the standard formula. Once if you have cos square, okay, that can be easily represented with the trigonometry. Cos square theta is equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Okay, so I'll apply that formula. Cos square theta is equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Okay, now if you represent using that formula, cos square of 2n minus pi by 3 is equal to 1 plus cos 4n minus 2 pi by 3 divided by 2. Again you know this constant 1 and by 2 will not affect the time period of the signal. The time period of the signal will be decided by only this 4, number 4, because again time shift also will not affect the time period of the signal. So from this, what is omega? Omega is equal to 4. Omega is 4, n by k is equal to 2 pi by omega. Okay, n by k is equal to 2 pi by, what is omega value? Omega is 4. Again n is equal to 2 by 4 into k. Now what value of integer will make n as a integer? Again no value can make, no integer can make n as a integer because of the presence of pi. Okay, because whenever the pi is present, again you cannot get the integer. Okay, you can get the integer once if you substitute the number like this, but this number 1 by pi is not a integer. Okay, so again you cannot make integer here by substituting integer value of k. That's why this signal is not periodic. Okay, not periodic. Again already you know from the experience, when the signal is not having pi internally along with the time index n, if there is no pi term, definitely the signal is not periodic. So that's why this signal is also not periodic. This signal is not periodic. Okay, so suppose if the question is given in different manner. Okay, so suppose if pi is there, then it would have been periodic. Then again we have to calculate the period of the signal. Period of the signal. Okay, so next question. X of n is equal to cos of 0.1 pi n. What is the period of this signal? N by k omega divided by 2 pi divided by omega, 2 pi divided by omega, n by k 2 pi divided by omega value is 0.1 pi. Okay, now n is equal to 2 by 0.1 pi cancel k. Again this is equal to 20k. Again simply this is periodic with respect to period n is equal to 20, because when you substitute k is equal to 1, that time itself you are getting integer, so that's why this is periodic with the period of 20. Okay, this is all about the calculating the period of the discrete signal. Okay, discrete signal. Okay, next we will enter into the topic of even and odd signal. Okay, our next topic, next classification of signal is even and odd signal. Even and odd signal. Okay, so before going into the mathematical equations related with even and odd signal, okay, we'll see some graphical representation. Okay, once if some signal is given, how to calculate it, whether the given signal is even signal or odd signal, with the just visualization, graphic visualization. Okay, so now can you tell me any even signal first, the signal that you know already? Can you tell me any even continuous time signal? Please tell me one signal that you know already, that signal is a even signal. I think already you might have studied that.
Cos T,
Cos
sir.
signal, yes. Okay, so cos signal is a even signal. Okay, cos signal is a even signal. Okay, again, how to represent the cos signal? This is the representation of cos signal. Okay, just for clarity, I am putting only few cycles. Actually, the cycles will get extending from minus infinity to plus infinity. I am putting just few cycles. Okay, now how to identify a signal is a even signal or odd signal? Okay, say for again the signal could be of infinite duration or it may be of finite duration, no problem. Okay, in this case, but whereas for periodic, strictly the signal has to be extending from minus infinity to plus infinite. But in case of even and odd signal, the signal durations could be anything. It may go from minus infinity to plus infinity, or it may go from minus 10 to plus 10, or from minus 1 to plus 1, no problem. The signal duration could be anything, but only one condition: if the signal has to be even, okay, the mirror image of y axis, okay, you take the mirror image of y axis, if the signal again remains same, then that signal is called even signal. Okay, so very simply, take mirror image of y axis, mirror image of y axis. Now you would have got some new signal. Okay, I am calling it as C. For example, x of t is the original signal. You have taken the mirror image with respect to y axis, that I will call it as xy of t. For example, just I am putting my own representation. Okay, x of t is the original signal. After taking the mirror image with respect to y axis, I am putting that signal nature as xy of t. If both are same, okay, x of t is equal to xy of t, both are same, then that signal is called even signal. Okay, so in the next page you will see clearly. Wait, Okay, now again you take, this is the original signal. Okay, now this is the original signal x of t. Okay, I'm calling it as this signal as x of t. If you take mirror image with respect to y axis, what will happen? Mirror image with respect to y axis, this is the y axis. So again, whatever the signal that is present, okay, see, I am putting different color. Say for example, if this is some red color I am using, okay, red color. Okay, this is the signal present on the left hand side, that I have to put it on the right hand side. So that is the mirror image. Okay, that is the mirror image. I will put like this. Again, whatever the signal that is present here on the right hand side, that I will put it on the left hand side. Okay, I will put it on the left hand side like this. Okay, so this is the original signal, this is the mirror image of the signal with respect to y axis. Okay, you have to be very careful with respect to y axis. So again the signal remains same. This signal is called even signal. Okay, if already signal is there, I take mirror image with respect to y axis, even if the appearance of the signal is not changing, okay, it looks same as the original signal x of t, then that signal is called the even signal. So I will call x of t is a even signal. Okay, I will call x of t as a even signal. Then what about the odd signal? What about the odd signal? Again, let me take the simple odd signal that you know already is sinusoidal signal, sine signal. Okay, sine signal will go like this. Okay, now what we are going to do, first you take mirror image with respect to y axis. Okay, now our first condition is you take mirror image with respect to y axis. If you take mirror image with respect to y axis for this sinusoidal signal, okay, what is the answer we'll get? Anybody? You'll get the answer like this. So what I am doing now, I am taking mirror image with respect to y axis. So now I will get the diagram like this. Yes sir, is it okay? Once if sine signal is there, if I take mirror image with respect to y axis, okay, now I will get the diagram like this. Okay, this is the original sine signal. I am taking mirror image with respect to y axis. Now I will get like this. Now what I have to take, if I want to get the original signal, anybody, I am going from sine signal to this signal, some intermediate signal. If I want to get the original signal from this, what operation I have to apply further? Already I took the mirror image of the signal. Anybody? Now I am applying mirror image with respect to y axis. Mirror image with respect to y. Yes sir, anybody? What operation I have to apply further so that I will get the original signal?
Sir, shifting, sir.
Shifting. Oh yes, shifting is also okay. Other than shifting, there are three operations: shifting, scaling,
Reversal of it.
time. Already we have done time reversal. So what I have to do, I have to do the amplitude reversal. Okay, I think we have seen that amplitude reversal also. Okay, similar to time reversal, amplitude reversal also is there. Okay, if I apply amplitude reversal means what? If originally sine is there, I will multiply by minus sign. Okay, in the original signal, I will put one extra minus for the amplitude. If I put minus sign for time, that is time reversal. If I put minus sign for amplitude, that is amplitude reversal. Then if you are doing amplitude reversal means that is mirror image with respect to which axis? X axis or y axis? Anybody? When I apply the amplitude reversal, that amplitude,
X-axis.
yes, that means what? It is the mirror image with respect to x axis. So for this diagram, if you apply the mirror image with respect to x axis, you will get this diagram. Again, you compare the first diagram and the second diagram, both are same. If you compare this, both are same. But in this process, what we have done, we have applied the mirror image with respect to y axis and also mirror image with respect to x axis. Mirror with respect to x axis. Mirror image with respect to x axis is something similar to applying amplitude reversal. So finally you should understand this. Okay, so what I am telling, the mirror image mirror image of signal with respect to y-axis is equal to time reversal. Again, mirror image of signal with respect to x-axis is called amplitude reversal. Okay, so now when the signal is odd signal, means what? If the signal is odd signal, you apply mirror image with respect to y-axis, then mirror image with respect to y-axis. If you are getting the original signal, then that particular signal we will call it as a odd signal. And again, this process need not to be in the same way. That means, again, it's always mandatory that you have to apply the mirror image with respect to y-axis first. Okay, you can apply mirror image with respect to x-axis as the first procedure. In the next step, you can do this. Okay, again, this is interchangeable. Okay, it's okay because both amplitude and time is independent to each other. So again, that means what I am telling. First, you can apply mirror image with respect to x-axis. Later, you can apply mirror image with respect to y-axis. And again, even if you are getting the original signal, then that signal we'll call it as a odd signal. Okay, so we are having two types of signal. If you apply only mirror image with respect to y-axis, if you are getting the original signal, then that signal we will call it as a even signal. Or otherwise, if you are applying both mirror image with respect to y-axis as well as x-axis, okay, and again finally if you are getting the original signal, then that signal we will call it as a odd signal. Okay, now the same thing, okay, we'll try to get with the help of mathematics. Okay, so now the actual discussion starts. Okay, now what about the even signal? Okay, so if x of t is there, again you know even signal means mirror image with respect to y-axis. Mirror image with respect to y-axis is same as time reversal. Okay, instead of t you put minus t. If x of t is equal to x of minus t, then signal is even. Then the signal is even signal. Okay, or otherwise if the signal is in the discrete domain, there you will apply x of n is equal to minus x of minus n. Again the discrete signal is said to be even. Okay, so again here simply if the original signal is there, mirror image of signal with respect to y-axis will produce the same signal. If original signal is there, for the signal you take mirror image of the signal with respect to y-axis, again you will get the original signal. That signal we are calling it as a even signal. Mathematically it has to satisfy this condition. If x of t is equal to x of minus t, then the signal is called as even signal. Then what about the odd signal? Okay, what about the odd signal? Okay, mathematically again what we are telling, for odd signal we have to take both time reversal as well as time reversal as well as amplitude reversal. That means mirror image with respect to y-axis, mirror image with respect to x-axis. That means what we have to do both. Okay, both operation. That means we have to do both time reversal as well as amplitude reversal. So originally if the signal is there like x of t, for that signal what I have to do, originally signal is there, you take mirror image with respect to y-axis, that is something similar to amplitude reversal. For that signal you take mirror image with respect to x-axis, that means what? Amplitude reversal. That means if x of t is equal to minus x of minus t, or even sometime in the book they used to give like this, x of minus t is equal to minus x of t. Again you know that this minus you can take up here also. Okay, if x of minus t is equal to minus x of t, or x of t is equal to minus x of minus t, all are same. So if the signal is following this condition, then the signal is odd signal. Okay, so that means what we are doing here, again in case of discrete, we can write x of n is equal to minus x of minus n, or x of minus n is equal to minus x of n. Okay, so if this is the case, then again the signal is said to be odd. So finally what we are doing here, if the signal is odd, original signal, okay, so how from the original signal you apply first time reversal. So mirror image of signal with respect to y axis, and then mirror image with respect to x axis, mirror image with respect to x axis. Okay, so if you apply first, you apply mirror image with respect to y axis, later with respect to x axis. If you are getting original signal, then that signal we will call it as a odd signal. That signal we will call it as a odd signal. Okay, so now we'll see some simple examples first. Okay, already we know sine signal is the odd signal and cos signal is the even signal. Now we will see some other examples for even and odd examples. For example, even. Okay, so now we will take the finite duration signal, the rectangular signal that is going from -2 to +2. Okay, so now it is having amplitude of 1. It is going from -2 to +2. Is it a even signal or odd signal? Yes, sir, anybody, is it a even signal or odd signal? So just find out x of -t.
Even, sir.
Even signal, because by applying only mirror image with respect to y axis, I am getting the same diagram. Okay, so finally x of -t is equal to x of t. So this signal is even signal. This signal is even signal. Okay, so next we'll take the example for odd signal, that to finite duration signal. If the signal is like this, okay, whether this is even signal or odd signal. Now this is the odd signal, because first you take mirror image with respect to y axis. If you take mirror image with respect to y axis first, now the diagram will be like this. Mirror image with respect to y axis means this diagram will go like this. Okay, so now we are in the intermediate step. So x of -t, again there is no relation between x of t and x of -t. So that means I will take again amplitude reversal for this one. Okay, for this intermediate diagram I will apply the amplitude reversal. That, so multiply this with minus, so amplitude reversal. Now what will happen? This will go like this, this will go like this. Again this is same as the original diagram. That's why this signal is called odd signal. This signal is called odd signal. So if the signal is given, if it follows this condition, then that is odd. If it follows this condition, then this is even. Sometimes the signal may not follow either of these condition, then that signal we are calling it as a neither even nor odd signal. Okay, so in general what I am telling, a signal could be either even signal or it could be odd signal. Sometimes it may not follow both the rules, okay, or either one of the rules, then that signal we will call it as a neither even nor odd signal. Neither even nor odd signal. Okay, so that means what is the notation to denote the signal? Okay, see, in general the signal is given. Okay, in general the signal will be given in terms of x of t. But if you know the signal is really x of t they have given, but if you identify that really that signal is a even signal, then that we can denote like x e of t, because that signal is definitely a even signal. Okay, if the signal is given, if you identify that the signal is odd signal, then we will denote x o of t, because definitely that signal is odd signal. If some signal is given, it is neither even nor odd, okay, then that signal we will denote as x of t. So here onwards we will follow this condition. Okay, so if the signal is definitely even, x e of t, definitely odd, x o of t. Again neither even nor odd means unknown signal, that we will call it as a x of t, that we will call it as a x of t. So now again see, if the signal is neither even nor odd, okay, see, if the signal is neither even nor odd, we can do one thing. From this signal is made up of what? Okay, the signal is made up of function of even even and odd part of the signal, even and odd part of the signal. So that means what I am telling, if the signal is given, that signal is neither even nor odd, it is not following the properties, but you can extract the signal from the original signal x of t, that will act as a even signal. Again you can extract some signal from the original signal that will act as a odd signal. Okay, what I am telling, if the signal is neither even nor odd, okay, that means what, it is consisting of both even and odd. Okay, only if the signal consists of only even part, then it will act as a even signal. If it is consisting only odd part, that will act as a odd signal. If the signal consists of both even and odd part, okay, that will not satisfy this condition, that but it is involving both even part as well as odd part. That means you can extract even part of this even part from the original signal, similarly odd part from the original signal. So again this x of t consists of both even and odd part. Okay, so that means what, we can write x of t in terms of xe of t or xo of t, or otherwise xe of t xo of t can be written in terms of x of t. So what I am telling, there is some relationship between x of t, what I am telling, there is some relationship between x of t and xe of t comma xo of t. There are some relationship, okay, between these two, some mathematical relationship is there. What is that relationship? See, if you want to calculate even part of the signal from the unknown signal, but that signal is neither even nor odd, that means what, it is consisting of both the nature. Okay, if the signal consists of both the nature, okay, but that will not satisfy the formulas. Okay, it will be there in the hidden manner, but we can separately, we can extract the even part of the signal like this. Okay, for the original signal you apply these mathematical terms, then you will get the even part of the signal, original signal. For again any unknown signal, you apply this formula, x of t minus x of minus t divided by 2. This is very important formula both. Okay, so you take the signal as it is, you apply the time reversal, you add both the signal, then divide by 2, then you will get even part of the signal. Okay, then you take the signal as it is x of t, then you take the mirror image, then you find the difference between the signal, then divide by 2, then you will get odd part of the signal. So this is very important formula with respect to even and odd part of the signal. Okay, how to identify, how to extract the even part of the signal or odd part of the signal. Now we'll, again this formula may not be clear to you because just directly we are writing the formula, but we can get some intuitive analysis from this. Okay, so I will take one by one. First I will take the even part of the signal. Okay, what is even part of the signal? They are telling even part of the signal is equal to x of t plus x of minus t by 2. Okay, now I am going to prove that, suppose if the signal x of t is even, for example, okay, see, in general x of t is the unknown signal, it could be even, odd, or neither even nor odd. Okay, but this formula has to work always because x of t is like unknown signal, but I am assuming x of t is even signal. Then somebody tell me what is the condition? If x of t is even signal, what is the condition, sir? Which condition it has to follow? What mathematical condition it has to follow? Then if x of t is even, then x of t is equal to x of minus t. Is it not, sir? Is it correct? If the signal x of t is given, please do not worry about this formula. Okay, in general, if x of t is given, suppose if it is even, if x of t is even, then I can write this x of t is equal to x of minus t. So now you apply this condition in this formula. You are telling x of t is equal to x of minus t or x of minus t is equal to x of t. Instead of x of minus t, I am putting x of t by 2. That means what? X of t. Yes, you will get that only because if you try to extract the even part of the signal from the even signal, you will get that signal only. So what I am telling, if you are having even signal, say for example, if you are given with this signal, if you are trying to extract the even part of the signal, then you will get this signal only because this signal is originally a even signal. Okay, so same thing we are proving with help of this formula. Okay, once if you are given with unknown signal, then you will get some different component. But if you are given with the signal which is already even, if you try to extract the even part of the signal, you will get that signal only, because that signal consists of only even signal, only even part. Okay, so again xc of t is equal to x of t. So similarly we can prove for odd part of the signal also, xo of t is equal to x of t minus x of minus t divided by 2. Then prove, suppose if the signal given is odd, okay, if x of t is odd, then what is the condition? X of minus t is equal to minus x of t. Okay, x of minus t is equal to minus x of t. Okay, so once if you substitute that x of t, again instead of x of minus t, okay, what you can substitute? Okay, already minus is there. What about x of minus t? That is minus x of t by 2, again that is equal to x of t. Okay, because you are given with odd part of the signal, if you try to extract odd part from that signal, you will get original signal only. You will get original signal only, because that signal consists of only odd part. Okay, so that means what I am telling, if the signal is given, it could be either even or odd, or it could be neither even nor odd. Okay, that we will see later. Last one. Okay, now you have some idea about these conditions. Okay, the signal is even or odd, but the signal could be neither even nor odd. Okay, that time again we can extract the even part of the signal as well as the odd part of the signal. Now we'll take one again we'll see one or two problem related with this. Okay, then we'll wind up. Okay, identify the type of the signal. Identify the type of signal. Okay, so you have to tell very fastly so that we can complete. Somebody please tell me what is the nature of the signal. What is the nature of the signal?
Even, sir.
Even. What about the next one?
Odd, sir.
Odd. Okay, so the first one, this one is even, this one is odd. Okay, so the next question is again you know this already very well. Again this is sine signal. Sine signal means odd. Next cos signal.
Even.
Cos signal means even. So this is odd, this is even. Okay, now finally we will see one example. What about this signal? Is it even or odd? Say the signal is given like this, 0, 1, 2. What is the nature of this signal? Anybody? Is it even or odd, or neither even nor odd? Okay, for that what we have to do, first you apply the concept. You take mirror image with respect to y-axis. If you take mirror image with respect to y-axis, you will get this. Okay, if you take mirror image with respect to y-axis, you will get this. So that means you have x of minus t. Then again you take mirror image with respect to x-axis, horizontal axis, you'll get like this. Okay, now these are all the only two steps that we can follow. Either we can apply negative sign inside the time, or and also we can apply here. But again this is also not related with this one, this is also not related with this one. Then that means this signal is what?
Neither even nor odd.
Yes, this signal is neither even nor odd signal. This signal is neither even nor odd signal. But in the next class what you try to do, but we can extract even part from this, and also we can extract odd part from this. So how to extract even part? If you want to calculate the even part, okay, already signal is there, x of t. Okay, then you apply, you calculate x of minus t, then you add both, then divide by 2. Definitely you will get one new signal. Okay, one new signal. Okay, but that is function of this signal. That signal definitely it will be even. Okay, in the next class you try to find out. Okay. Similarly, for the same signal x of t, again you calculate x of t and x of minus t, but here minus. Okay, then divide by 2, then you will get the new signal, but that new signal will be odd signal. So that means what? This is the even part of the unknown signal, neither even, this x of t is neither even nor odd, but it consists of even part. Similarly, this x of t is neither even nor odd, but it consists of odd part. Okay, so later what you do, you have calculated xe of t and x o of t individually. Can we get the original signal from this? Okay, now we extracted some component from the original signal. Can we get the original signal x of t from xe of t and x of t? Yes, we can get. If we add these two equation, okay, if you add x even part of t and x odd part of the t, what you will be getting? Okay, plus minus this term will cancel. You will get simply x of t. Okay, now what I am telling, are you understanding? So you can extract xe of t, xo of t. Once if you add finally, you will get x of t. So that only I am trying to say that neither even or nor odd signal, it consists of even part as well as the odd part. Okay, so that's why I am telling from the beginning onwards, x of t is function of x even part of t and x odd part of t. Okay, if the signal is really even signal, then it is function of only xe of t. That time we are denoting just like function, that time this will not be there. If it is really odd signal, then it is function of only x odd part. That means exactly they are same, or otherwise it follows this mathematics. So in the next class you try to calculate xe of t and xo of t. Then whatever the things that you have calculated is right or not, that you can easily verify. How to verify? You calculate separately, then you add. If you are getting original x of t, then whatever things you have calculated